Hello everyone, welcome back to my craft room. My name's Whitney Lucas. I'm with Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots, and today is I won't say my first, I think it's my second video that I've made specifically just for YouTube. Normally you guys are used to seeing my Facebook Lives that I upload from Facebook after they've posted it. So today I'm filming just for you guys for YouTube. Obviously if you're watching on Facebook, I appreciate you guys coming on over. I am going to post it in both areas, but for this one, all you guys, if you have questions or comments or tips and advice, please go ahead and just leave them in the comments below, and I will go through them and make sure that I get back to you guys all individually. Today's project is going to be a Christmas tree wall hanger. It's not really a door hanger just because I'm going to change the hanger on the back of it. It's just a Christmas tree that I got at Michael's. I wanted to do a quick little video here and also give you guys a lot better quality. I know a lot of the Facebook videos you guys couldn't see a lot of the good quality, so this one actually should be really good quality. So you can see more detail on a lot of these goodies. You should be able to see the wood grain on this guy and a lot of other things I'm going to show you today. So basically my supply list is any type of wood hanger. You know, this doesn't have to be just Christmas. So you guys, while we're making this today, just kind of play along and think of any other holiday and any other type of wood hanger that you would find anywhere in stores. Hobby Lobby has a whole aisle full of wood pieces that you could just paint solid colors or leave natural as they are. And then if they're just like a square or a circle, you could then affix maybe a monogram of some sort for whoever this gift is going to be for, or if it's for yourself. In today's piece, I've got these at Michael's for 60% off at the time. So they were originally $14.99, so I got them for $6, $5.99 each. So that's actually a pretty good smoking deal, if you ask me. And what I wanted to do was, I'm not really necessarily going to put this on a door, only because I need to change the hanger on the back of this guy. Really all I want to do is just add some ribbon and some greenery to it to give it a little bit more depth and interest for the holiday. And then also, depending on what theme or color you're going with, it's interchangeable if you just use staples. I'm going to be using staples and hot glue, so what I'm doing today, this is going to be permanent. But this is going to look great anywhere. And then I know it's late in the game, you guys. I just wanted to do a couple more Christmas videos before the end of the year. But I am going to list this guy on Etsy eventually, and if he sells, he sells. If not, he'll be great for next year too. So what I did today was, obviously I've got a wood door hanger or a wood wall hanger from Michael's, Christmas tree shaped for today's project. And then I have various green stems that I have leftovers. This is these are all Hobby Lobby, I believe. Hobby Lobby, that's a leftover Hobby Lobby. This is a new one I never used. I'm going to use the magnolia leaf off of this guy. And then I have some, I think this is called lamb's ear, that I've had for a couple years now, and I haven't used it for anything, so I thought I would bring it out and just maybe put a couple pieces in it, just because I think that this lighter green color looks really great against the white distressed wood. I also like that it's distressed, so it gives you a little bit of farmhouse, a little bit of rustic, a little bit of rough edges, and I'm going to put some really pretty fancy stuff with it. So for my ribbons, I chose 2 spools that I got at Sam's Club this year. Obviously got one with Christmas trees on it for a Christmas tree. Now this is a little bit more of a fancy Christmas tree, but to me it's all the same. They're all in the same family, right? So I'm using this, and then I also have this lighter minty green color that kind of plays off of the hues in here, and I also thought would look elegant and awesome with this white color as well as this lamb's ear. It's going to be pretty awesome. I got this stuff over at it's fall, and I got it it was normally $6. I got it for 50% off. Got it for $3.50 at Hobby Lobby this past fall. And it's a sort of a burlappy jute cording, but it's wired. It's got wires in it. It's wired, so you can bend it and move it. So I'm thinking I might cut a few pieces of this and kind of tie it in with my wire, or tie it in with my bow and ribbons, just to see if I can maybe make some spirals coming out. I'm not sure. This should be interesting because I haven't used it yet. And I've got 2 of these, and I never used it for fall, so I'm a little excited to do that. And then I've got some of these really pretty elegant berries here. These are just really pearlescent ivory, and I believe that's almost a muted, almost like pewter. It's not really gold, it's not copper, and it's not silver, so I'm going to go with pewter. And it's a really pretty combination. It looks really good with this ribbon. It looks really good with what we got going on here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start piecing things together. And mainly I have my glue skillet ready to go here. You guys can see that. I also have my glue gun. I'm going to be using a lot of staples. So if you guys you're going to need a staple gun. And then also, with that said, you'll need to make sure that the thickness of your item is going to be able to withstand everything we're going to staple into it today. This is a pretty decent thickness. If you see here, this guy is got some meat to him, so I'm thinking nothing's going to actually go wrong on this. And worst case scenario, if you staple through, it'll be on the back. So unless you're going to place this guy on a door with glass behind it, you could always cover that up with some leaves or something. You could glue something to the back of it. But this guy's got a really decent thickness. And the staples that I use in my staple gun, I got at Lowe's. And they are 5/16. Here's the actual box. These are the staples I use from Lowe's. And 5/16 isn't going to be any kind of crazy deep staple. We'll be fine. And that's what I'm basically going to use. Probably more staples and then glue over the staples, but mostly staples. But I've got everything here just to cover all my bases. So what I'm going to do to get started is I'm going to take off this hanger that they have here. Now, it came with this little, looks like some kind of jute cording on there, and I'm not really wanting to hang it on the wall like this, because basically you're going to see just like an ugly nail. And this isn't actually wide enough to put on a wreath hanger if you wanted to put it on a door. My concern is that when you have this hanging on a door, when you open and close the door, you know, depending on its weight, this is going to kind of bang around a lot. So I'm just going to put this on the wall, probably in my kitchen near my dining room. But this would look great in an entry hall. It would look great in a bathroom if you have a little small space in your front bathroom or a guest bathroom. This would honestly look great anywhere. And then you could also get some sort of easel type situation, maybe like a little plate holder, and maybe prop this up onto a tabletop to make it a tabletop piece. Or you can connect something back here to do that. But I'm not that much into the woodworking side of it. So all I'm going to do is put a different type of picture hanger on the back. So hopefully this will just pull out real easy. Most of the time these little prefabricated things, the little connectors they have in there, most of the time they come out pretty easy. And that one's coming out pretty easy. So I'm just using my pliers that I have. They've got some wire cutters in them. Had these guys for ages. And I'm kind of just working it out of here. And I got one of the little staples out. I don't know if you can even see that. They're super tiny. So I'm just going to throw those away. And I'll show you guys real quickly. Here's one. They put two in there, so I'm going to pull this other one out real quick. Okay. And it didn't leave any kind of crazy horribleness. So there, I got it out. There's a couple holes back there, but again, this is the back, so we've got really nothing to really worry about crazily. And then let me show you what I got here. These are just sawtooth hangers. I call them little alligator teeth hangers for pictures. I got this at Lowe's. You can pick them up any hardware store, the picture frame aisle in your craft store. You can get this stuff. It's pretty universal, pretty much anywhere. And this was fairly inexpensive. And I have how many? I have 5 of them in here. And I'm only going to use one. They also come in different sizes. I didn't get these. My husband picked them up for me. I just said, hey, go buy me some picture hangers. I didn't tell him, hey, get me this size and that size. So this is just the size he picked. But I know that they do come in smaller sizes and larger sizes. But for what we're doing today, I need it to be this size because it's not a heavy piece, but I want it to be stable. So if there's some sort of reason that it might be lopsided one side or the other, I'm going to be able to adjust it on the back with where we're hanging it. So I'm just going to open that here. And these go in with little tiny nails. There's some other ones that I had. If you guys can check my YouTube channel, I have made a picture frame wreath in the past, and I used different picture hangers on that one. That one was the little triangles that kind of hang off, and I tied some cording around that to hang it with. That one was a different type of hanger, and that was a screwdriver. It was very simple. These are just really tiny little nails. And again, this isn't a crazy thick project, so the wood itself. That's how tiny this little nail is. It's the tiniest little nail. It's so cute. You guys see that there? It's the tiniest little nail. And they're going to go into the holes on the corners here and here. So I'm going to flip our project over. And I'm going to take a peek back here and see. I'm obviously want it to be straight. So I'm using the lines here. If I get here. I'm using the lines here on my cutting mat. And I'm trying to get this to be about as straight as I think it can be. And I'm also going to give it just a little bit room down from the top. I have never done this before, guys. I am just taking it, I would say by ear, but I'm not. I'm just guessing at where I want to put this. I'm not measuring anything. I'm not making anything professional by any means. So I'm just guessing here. And then what I do want to make sure is I want to make sure that it's straight. Otherwise, the item's not going to hang right. So I'm just going to take my ruler and line it up with my cutting lines on my cutting mat down here. So that way I know I've got this straight before I start nailing in the pieces there. If you have one, you could also use a leveler. I don't have I mean, my husband has them, but I'm not going to go out there and dig through the garage to get them. So I'm just going to make sure this is also center in the piece. And then centered here on here, left, right, and then I'm just going to put a dot with my little black Sharpie pen here. There's the holes on either side. I'm going to hold it down and I'll put a dot on each side. That way I have that for reference because more than likely they're going to move around when I'm hammering them in. So if you can see here, there's the 2 dots I made. With the Sharpie, and then now I'm not having to really worry too much about placement. I can just get that lined up with this dot and basically start hammering this piece in here. Now this is a tiny little nail, so I'm hoping you guys this turns out okay, because I'm probably gonna hit my fingers. I got a cute little tiny hammer for my craft room. I found it, I think, at Walmart, and I was just super excited by how cute it was. And I think that's probably the only reason I bought it was because of how cute it was. And let's see, I'm going to have to use my pliers because of how small this is. So I got my pliers here. That's going to hold the nail while I hammer it. My fingernails are kind of getting in the way right now. So if the other ladies, you guys are out there, you got those fingernails, end up having the same issue I do. So I got one down. It's a little crooked. Sorry guys if that hammering is extremely loud. Almost done. I'm going to place the other one right here just to get it started. I'm not going to push the other one down all the way in just yet. So this is how I'm holding it in the pliers. So the pliers become your finger if you're a little afraid of hitting your fingernail or you're hitting your finger. I don't have the finger issue. I have the fingernail issue. My fingernails are too long and this is a really tiny nail. And nothing says that you can't just use maybe a strip of ribbon and then just staple that to the back of the tree. Sorry guys, hold on one second. Okay, so I got that in and we're good to go. Nothing popped through on the front. And there's the hanger. Just a cute little guy on the back, little alligator teeth, but they call it sawtooth, more professional. And then on the front, we've got no issues, no blemishes are coming through here at all. So now remember, I have not hammered them all the way in, but this guy's not going anywhere. So that's how we do it. But again, what I was saying when I was hammering, and I'm not sure if you guys were able to hear it, is nothing says that you can't just take a strip of ribbon, maybe unwired ribbon, some grosgrain, something a little bit heavier. It's got some strength to it, and just staple that to the back of your project with a good amount of staples, and then that should be good enough to hold your project up if you're not really interested in doing a little bit of the the handy or the tool work, that shouldn't be that a problem. But there's always a different way of doing it. Or if you like, you can just leave the hanger that was on there. I personally wanted it to be a little bit different. So what I want to do is I want to put my bow, basically when this guy's on the wall, I want to put a bow and some greenery here, kind of going up the one side of the tree. I don't want to cover too much of this so you don't actually see the tree beneath it. I mean, because this is a white piece, so it really pops against the paint on our walls. My whole house is this color. I have a few accent walls, but basically I don't want to cover so much of the project here, this piece, that you can't tell it's a tree. And I have that problem. You guys have seen me do stuff before where I've been known to put a little bit too much into things and got myself in trouble. And then if you've already glued it in, there's no turning back after that. So see, I use this on a fall wreath, the pumpkin one. So this minty green color is going to be just perfectly, it's very shiny and shimmery and really pearlescent. It's very beautiful. It's going to look great with this Christmas tree ribbon here. I'm going to be careful with this 2.5 inch ribbon because of the size, obviously. It's a really big ribbon, and I don't want it to take away from the actual piece here. So what I'm going to do is just dovetail the end that is on the ribbon spool just to start. And then I'll do that with this one. And I'm going to do, I'm not actually sure. I don't think I'm going to do a full bow with a lot of loops. I might just do 2 and 2 or 3 and 2, or maybe just the one loop on this guy. I'm not absolutely sure. So I'm just going to kind of play around with these here and see, you know, how big I want to have them. Because this is such a small project, this isn't going to take you much time, and it's not going to be so involved to where you have to get 6 or 7 or 8, 9 things together and then you have to keep pulling. It'll take a lot, it'll take very little of your, it should take very little supplies. So even now I've got a 50-yard roll here that I bought at Sam's Club. I'm probably going to be using maybe 2 feet of it. And it's more or less because I want to get the Christmas tree accent on here. So what I'm going to do is start this out with a decent sized tail, because basically if it gets too long, I can cut it short, obviously. So what I'm going to do is just kind of guesstimate where I want, and I'm only going to do 2 loops of this larger ribbon. So basically, if you guys haven't seen me make a bow before, I call these sloppy bows or lazy bows. They're really simple and they're really beautiful by the time you're done. So you pick the length you want your tail to be, completely guessed. Don't worry about that. You're going to take the ribbon and pinch it, and then figure out where you want your loop to be, because basically this is the size that you're going to guess for your project. I don't measure anything. I just go by feel and go by look of what you think you want it to look like, and then hold it down on your project to see if that loop is the size you want it to be. That might be a little bit too big. So I'm gonna roll from here. I was pinching here. I'm gonna roll it down here, and that should change the size of my loop. And then pinch it here. I'm gonna lay it back down against the project, and that to me looks really nice. So at that point, what I'm going to do is, because it's one-sided ribbon, the Christmas trees are on the front and then the back is really not nice. I take the ribbon after I pinch it, and you're going to twist it so that basically the print is now facing you. You guys are seeing behind me, but the print now faces me. And I'm going to make another loop and hold it with this finger. And then I'm going to basically just guess from here to here, do these look the same? It's all by eye. There's no right or wrong way to do it. If your bow ends up lopsided, then you make something bigger on the other side. It's not any kind of crazy science, and there's no wrong way to do it. Ribbon is all, I love ribbon. So to me, even a lopsided bow is gorgeous. There's so many things you can do to fix it later if it bothers you. For me, I've made many bows where my loops are definitely not the same size. So at that point, I'm liking my guesstimation. I then pinch it and twist it again so that this is the tail. When I cut this, it's facing me as well. So the front of your project faces you the entire time. The front facing piece, the front side of your ribbon faces you the whole time, so that you'll know this is what your ribbon, this is what your bow looks like. And then here I'm going to guess a little bit longer than I need it to be. I'm just going to cut it under one of these Christmas trees. And then I'm leaving it like that. What I'm doing here is I hadn't planned on using any pipe cleaner. I'm going to be using solid staples on this because I don't want the pipe cleaner. It's going to add a lot of bulk to it. So I actually am probably going to look for a few pieces of greenery first. So because I already made this bow, I like to take a chip clip here, and then you just put your chip clip in where you're holding it. And that holds your piece for when you're ready to grab it and use it again. What I hadn't thought about was the greenery I want to put underneath it. So I'm going to grab a few pieces of these longer stems. I'm probably going to use this small pine cone off of here also. But then also there's nothing saying you can't use one. This is one I found outside in my front yard. I could glue that right straight on here in, you know, kind of diagonally or off to the side next to the bows and the things I put on here, and that would be gorgeous. So store-bought or natural from the front yard, you guys, you name it. If it's pretty and you like it, incorporate that into your piece, and you can never really be wrong on anything. I'm going to look at some of these other leftover pieces just to see if I like the way anything kind of, you know, that's reaching out to me. I'm definitely going to use these magnolia leaves. I love these on here, and they're really dark green compared to the white. So, yes, I'm going to use this guy here. So just start cutting things off from the stems. I'm going to pull this down as much as I can, and I didn't clip it, I just pulled it off of the stem, so I still have the piece that it was connected to on here. And I'm just going to lay this kind of up this way to see how I like it. And then I'm going to use maybe a complementing one from this one down here. So it's all, everything in here is just a little different from every piece. Let me see if I can get this off without having to cut it, because I need... That seems to be working. I need the leeway to be able to staple this on to the project. So just trying to work this out left and right. You can always figure out the construction of your project or of the picks that you choose by trying to work out everything that you've already cut off of it. Now I've already used this bush for other items. I've used these guys for those mouse wreaths that I made. If you guys remember, there's a video on a paw print wreath, and it's basically the same premise, but you use two of them for the ears, for mouse ears. It was really super cute and easy. It was a lot of fun to make too. They're really popular, and I still have some right now on my Etsy shop. So just trying to work this off of here without losing too much of it. And I'm almost there, guys. Almost there. There we go. I won. So now here's this piece that I was able to pull off of there. And this is what I was interested in because I'm going to use the staples and the hot glue on that. So I have two very different ones. This one's more flat, and this one's has more thickness to it. A little bit different lime green. I'm going to put this one kind of going towards the top and this one going towards the bottom. And I don't see a reason as to why they would need to really have perfect or proper placement, you could say. So I think at that point, everything else I'll need to put on here after the bow. But these two pieces I just wanted to get placement on and then try to hold the bow over it to see if maybe this is how I want things to be, to see if maybe this is too far to the left or right. And I'm actually very happy with it. So, and see, my bow just came apart, but I'll show you guys, if you ever drop your bow, I'll show you exactly what you need to know to put it back together again. It's crazy, sorry, it's not crazy. It's not difficult because you've already made the pinch marks in there, so you'll be good to go. So what I'm going to do here is, normally I would dip this in my glue pot and then put this on the project, but because this is a flat piece of wood, I'm going to take this here and I'm going to and you can always bend these two after you've already placed them on here, but I want these two pieces of pine to stay straight. So I'm just going to take them and I'm going to put my staples in here. And then I'm going to put a lot of glue over the top of that. And I think my poor glue gun is dying on me. I go through so many glue guns. I'm not surprised that they give up on me real simple. They're tired of being alive. They've given up. Poor things. So let me see. I want this one to be a little bit more here. And then this one I want to definitely, I don't want this one to move at all. So there I put 3 staples on it, and then same thing, I'm just going to put a good decent amount of glue on top of each staple. And then I need to let that dry a little bit before I hold it up to show you guys what exactly that does. Now my glue is so hot, I can see it taking the little artificial pieces here of the pine, and it's starting to melt it and curl it all up, which is a good thing because that means it's creating a really good bond. Okay, it's not moving. So if you see here, this is what I've done. I placed them on there where I wanted them to go, and each of them has, this one has 2, this one has 3 staples in it, and then I put the hot glue. Yeah, it's not moving. Then I put hot glue over top of those to make sure that they don't go anywhere. So you've got, your items are secure to where if the glue fails, the staples are there, because that's not going to happen. And it's not going, your project won't slip out. You know, these pieces of pine aren't going to slip out from there because you've already stapled it down fairly well. And if you're staple happy like I get sometimes, this is so permanent, you're not going to ever be able to take it apart, even if you wanted to. So since my bow came apart, if you can see here, you can see where your pinch marks are. So I know that I pinched here, and then I know my next pinch mark here. I'm going to bring that up to my fingers and pinch it again. Twist it to face you forward, right? And then I know my next pinch marks are here in the wire. I'm going to bring that up behind and pinch it there, and then twist the ribbon there. And then now all of that is in my hand. And so your bow, you're able to put that back together to the way it was before it fell apart. So again, now I'm ready to put this bow on here. So I'm still holding everything where I pinched everything at, and I'm just going to hold it down and put my thumb here in the middle. And I'm going to try to staple through all of the ribbon. There's going to be issues. You're not going to be able to get through all of it, especially if it's a thicker ribbon. And actually, I was able to, so never mind, guys. I was able to get through all of it. So that was just two staples, but I'm going to tug on things on here, and I'm going to make sure that everything is where I want it to be. So I'm tugging to see if I need to put any additional staples anywhere. I'm going to add another one right here in the center just to make sure that doesn't go anywhere. And then I'll show you here, because we're going to be pushing this bow all around, so I'll probably be fluffing it because I have that habit. But if you look in here, you can see the staples where I put staples in. You're just stapling right through all of the ribbon and placing it. Where's the other one? So you can see here, staple, staple. You're just stapling through all of the ribbon just to make sure it's secure and it's really not going to go anywhere. And then again, you guys can see here, there's nothing popping through because of the thickness of this actual piece of wood. Nothing's popping through. It's going to be fine only because of the thickness, or the size of these staples aren't going to cause any issue as far as the staple popping through the back of it. You know, some projects you need to really be careful, because you want to watch and see if you need to watch and see if it's a really thin wood and your staple is bigger, then yeah, you're going to have to just be careful and make sure that the piece doesn't pop through. Because if you have a hole coming through the front, that's a little different. Through the back, not so bad. But even in this instance, we don't really have to worry about it. So here's also another little cute trick, is you can just make a one loop bow, or a one loop. So you just pinch your pincher bow or pincher loop together, cut this here, and then you can place this around this side. I'm gonna place another one under here. So it's kind of almost cheating. You're not really making a solid bow, but you're also not, I forget what I'm actually saying, you guys. You're not really making a bow, but you're placing pieces together in a way to where it looks like just a really grand, it's a really grand piece that looks like it's massive, but you didn't have to use your time, not time, but you didn't have to use your hand strength. You didn't have to put things together. And if you're having problems with maybe holding all the ribbon, or if you're having problems, you're not too confident with your bow making, this is the best way to make a bow, and everybody will think that you either bought it that way, or they think that you're just the bee's knees for making something that way, which I don't see a problem with that either. So here I'm just guessing, and I'm just going to cut a strip of ribbon. Don't even measure it. It's not going to make a difference. And then all I'm going to do is I fold it in half, and then I fold it in half lengthwise, okay? And then we're going to dovetail the two together by cutting from the folded in here up diagonally to the edge. Let me cut that here on the table. Sorry, guys. So then when you undo it here, you've got your two pieces, and you've got your dovetails on your ribbon. So here now, I'm just going to take this, kind of held it together, fold it in half, and then pinch it right here like this. Move this, take this back one here and move it out towards you. And when I place it on the piece, I'm going to put my staples right where my thumb is. So I'm going to staple it down to my project right where my thumbs are. And it's not going to, the staples will not show after you fluff your ribbon. So far I've only put 2 of the mint green 1.5 inch ribbon on here, and I've only secured them by staples right under here. So there's the staple on that one, if you can see that there. And of course, if you feel any kind of movement, or you think that it's maybe not secure as much as you want it to be, put more staples in it. There's never going to be an instance where you put, if you're concerned about something, there's too many staples or not. I say staple it again. Don't worry about it, and staple it again. So I'm going to keep doing that here. I'll probably do maybe 2 or 3 more. And what I'm seeing pop up right now in the project is I'm a little concerned with the fact that I'm not able to see the Christmas tree tails. So I'm going to make another strip of tails, and I'll show you guys how I'm going to put that underneath the project. So basically I'm just going to cut ribbon, put dovetail on the end, and then staple it underneath the project. It's really easy. And then this is also why I like to do these projects, because they're fairly quick. I mean, obviously this video is going to be a little bit of time just because I'm explaining all the steps, but if you need to make these for a church event, or if you want to put this would also be during Christmas, or they wanted a Christmas theme, or even just a cabin theme, you could, take out the Christmas tree theme and just put some burlap and lace on here. That'd be really pretty. This would be really good. Just a little wood hanger. If you could get hearts, you could do a heart theme for a wedding, or any kind of party or a bridal shower. I'm thinking of all this stuff right now. It's kind of exciting. It'd be really cute. But you could soldier through this pretty quickly. I'm doing a lot of talking, number one, because I just am good at it, right? That's what people say. They're like, hey, lots of chit chat. I got bored with all your talking. I say, guys, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to talk to you and show you step by step. And thank you guys so much. I appreciate all my subscribers. Before this video right now, I'm almost at, I think, 2,900. So almost 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's super rewarding. It feels great to know there's that many people out there that actually want to see what I'm doing. It makes me feel good. All of you guys give great comments, great feedback. I feel like I'm doing what you guys like, and it also is really fun because I absolutely love doing this. So I just picked up one day and thought that I would make a Facebook Live, and said, why don't I put it on YouTube? Because I watch other people do stuff like this pretty much all the time, and I can do that too. And you guys have responded and been very supportive. A lot of you guys have been also very grateful, and it's just really crazy, interesting, and nice to have everybody with me. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of it. I appreciate the support and the comments and the messages and everything that you guys do. It's just really great. Especially since I can share this with a lot of other people who also have the same obsession as me in ribbon and florals and crafting and just making home decor, making things beautiful, making things that make you smile. All that good, happy, super cheesy stuff. It's fun. So I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to put this one right here in the middle. So I'm going to need to staple one side. Take your finger out, guys. I have stapled my finger before. Trust me, it's not fun. So don't be afraid to squish your bows. Just literally push in as far as you can and staple. It's why you're using wired ribbon. That's another reason you want to always use wired ribbon. It's forgiving. It allows you to fix it later. It allows you to do so many other different things. So if you ever in doubt, use wired ribbon. So here I'm just messing with the tails. I'm going to kind of fluff it a little bit. We are still going to add a lot more greenery. Well, not a lot, but a decent amount. We're going to add a decent amount of greenery here. And so I just want to see how many gaps I have still. Okay, that's not crazy. It's not bad. Not bad. We're not. That's what we've got so far, guys. So it's just a bow, 2 pieces of pine, and that's looking pretty good the way it is. That mint green is just, it's really pretty together. And I'm not sure if the lights are picking up the picture good enough for you guys, but I will put detailed pictures with my studio lights on Facebook and Instagram. So you guys can take a peek. If I can get the pictures taken before, I can upload it also at the end of the video here for you guys to see. But I'll also put these up on my other accounts too. So if you guys need to and you want to, please go ahead and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And then also, if you can and if you'd like to, go ahead and subscribe to me here, and it helped my channel grow, because that's what this is all about. The more I grow, the more I can do. The more I can get things on the table and get things glued and made things pretty. It's becoming so much fun. So what I'm doing here is I've gotten all of the lime. This is all the mint green I'm going to use. I'm really happy with the amount I have here and the shimmer I'm getting from it. So I'm going to leave that as it is with this mint green. It's very pretty. What I want to do is place this pine cone. And then really all we have left is a few magnolia leaves, and you guys will see just how quickly things go together. As far as how we're just going to place leaves here and there, and then you're done. Now again, I've been talking to you a lot, so you guys are seeing what's going to take just a little bit longer than normal because of all the talking. But let me see if I can incorporate this kind of rusticy wired burlappy jute cord. I really don't know what this is. I just like it. So let me see how well it cuts, because I'm not familiar with. Yeah, that's definitely not cutting very well. The wire in here cut just fine, but I don't know how I would use this. I'm gonna, yeah, it didn't cut very well. I just want to experiment here, guys, and see if I can just turn this in under. See, because now I'm pulling it out of the project. Because it looks like this stuff is starting to unravel. And that's not pretty. It also means that it's not going to... I could staple it in here and do like a little zigzaggy thing, I think, around it. I think I'm going to try that, you guys. So let's see if I have wire cutters sharp enough. Okay, you heard that? Because that was pretty loud. I got that. All right, so these wire cutters are sharper than my other ones, probably because I use these for everything. I love these. I got them at Joann's. They're nothing special, but these I got in the floral department somewhere. And these are pretty sharp, probably because I don't use them very often. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of curl this around something. Let's just use my finger. I'm just using my finger and putting like a little spiral design. You can see that here. Putting a little spiral in it. And I'm going to probably just kind of I'm not sure, you guys. It might look a little strange, but I'm kind of liking it. So let's see how we can do this. It's just preliminary, so the staple marks I'm going to make, hopefully they're not going to show when we're done. So let me just staple that one piece down there. And then I'm going to take this right here and I'm going to continue to work around the project with it. And I'm just doing like a real sloppy, like it's really not any kind of like pattern or set. Hold on, guys. Sorry. It's not any kind of set design or anything like that. I just kind of sloppily wrapped it around my finger, and I'm gonna staple this side down and show you guys real quick. I'm really liking it though. So I'm just lifting up the bow a little bit this way, and I'm stapling it up underneath because once everything falls back down, it won't really be seen. And then of course, if I like what it looks like at the very end, we're gonna lift all this up and we're gonna definitely hot glue. We're gonna hot glue all this stuff down here. So all I did was basically cut a piece long enough. At this particular one, I didn't know how long I wanted it, so I stapled the one piece, wrapped it around my finger, kind of messy like, and then stapled it, you know, the piece I cut just on a different part of the bow here. And then that's what it kind of looks like here. I like how it just kind of puts a little bit of a squiggle. It's a little natural burlap element. I really think that that's pretty right there. So I'm going to add another one or two, maybe just, let's see, maybe just one more. It's kind of hard to guesstimate where I want it to come from because I kind of want it to come out of the middle of the bow. So I think what I need to do here is I'm just going to start wrapping it around this finger here. That's really all I'm doing, is just taking my index finger, putting it in there and wrapping it around. You gotta pull it out, put it back under the last loop, wrap it around. So I'm just creating this little weird curl into it. And I want this one to come out of the middle of the bow. So I'm gonna open this up and kind of place this down in here. And remember, this is where I said you got a lot of layers of stuff, so you gotta squish your bow. So this is just something we have to do. I'm squishing the bow. I'm just making sure that that's secure on there. And it doesn't look like it is. So pull your staple back out. Yeah, it didn't catch. It caught on one side but not the other. So I'm going to have to find a flatter piece or a flatter area. And because I'm working underneath here, this is where the this is where all the hot glue is. But I need this to come out of the center of this bow, so kind of needing to wrap that back around again, get a little bit more of a spiral on it. See, like this is going to move around a lot, especially when you store it for the holiday. This wire here inside this burlap stuff is kind of really, I'm not going to say not forgiving because it's very forgiving, but it's going to get smushed. It's not going to keep its shape. I mean, unless you just... Okay, that worked out much better. Unless you just hang it somewhere during, you know, the off season and you don't put it in a box or something, that's always a possibility. Yeah, this worked out really good, you guys. So it's just finding placement underneath everything and getting the spiral in it the way you like it. It's actually very bendable, so it's working with me pretty well. This is some of the stuff that takes a little bit more time, because I hadn't planned on doing this. So again, I'm going to cut this here. And probably going to feed this down into here, into this part. Or I'm going to feed it up here underneath all of this stuff. Yeah. I'm going to put it up a little bit higher up here. So this part here might show through when you get some other stuff done, but I'm going to make sure that doesn't, because we still have magnolia leaves to put in here. We still have some other stuff to put in here. Remember, your bow is going to get a little smushed as you work. You can go in and kind of fluff it just to, you know, get an idea of how things are going to be once it's done. So you're not working completely blind on anything. we're also going to put a lot of good stuff in between everything here. So that's what the second one looks like. I have it coming out from this side, and then I put it up underneath here so you can kind of peek under there. I just really, underneath this piece here, I just stapled it to the, I can't see, there we go. I just stapled it to the piece under there. But the tails of the ribbon are going to cover it. Shouldn't have really big of an issue. And we're also going to place some more greenery and leaves in here. And I've got this, you know, this berry pick that we'll cut up. It's going to look completely amazing, guys. Not to worry on any of that. So last one here. Don't need to make this one very long since this one's sort of short up here. I'm going to keep this one a little bit short as well. And then here's where I just need to kind of play with it to see how I'm going to put everything. I've got one down here, one here. It feels like I should have one coming up here like this. But then securing it, I'd have to secure it in the same spot. So I just make it a little bit longer. So basically you just want to hide your ends because this stuff is a little, it's just not too pretty on the end where you're cutting it and everything. It kind of unravels just a little bit. So not to worry because we got staples, and then again we're going to glue a lot of this stuff. We're going to glue a lot of it together. Yeah, that's good. So again, the bow got really kind of crushed in that process, but we are going to be a-okay in the long run. Just one more clip on this and we're done with that. I'm really happy with that. I only got 2 of them, so if I see it again this coming year at Hobby Lobby, this was the tag for fall, I'm going to grab more of it because I just kind of came across it by accident when I was shopping and I was like, what is this stuff? And then I realized, okay, it has wire in it. So I was super interested and it was already clearanced out. So I was all right, I'm going to buy a couple of these. Let's just see what happens. Let's just take a chance, see what happens. Worked out pretty good, right? That's what half of the weird, like if it's a weird supply or like a new ribbon I've never seen, stuff like that, I'll grab it and just try it, or I'll put it in my cart and order it online. I've done that many times, especially craftoutlet.com or some of those other online supply companies I order from. You don't really get a good idea. Most of the time, especially with craftoutlet.com, they're my favorite. Their stuff is very well pictured. Their descriptions are pretty detailed. I don't ever have a problem. But sometimes, just every once in a while, something a little weird pops through and you don't really know what it is. I'll still get it just to see what it is. If it's not crazy overpriced or one of those expensive things. So here's where I have those 3 cords going through there. So it adds a little bit of squiggle, a little bit of whimsy. It's really super cute. All right. So moving on now, I just want to get a pine cone in here. I thought I was going to use this one because it's kind of broken a little bit and it's weird and I like that. I might use 2 actually. So I'm going to cut this off here from the project. Anywhere you see it's connected at, just go for that piece and cut it off. So I'll probably use 2 of these. And they have these just wired on, so this one's super simple. Those just came off that easy. And I'm going to hide the wire because I'm not going to try to completely unwire it from the project. I'm just going to curl it into the pine cone so it's not hurting. Well, you're going to glue it in, so it's not going to hurt anyone really, but I just kind of bent the sharp edge down into it. So it's not going to be an issue. So I'm going to put that one in there. All I'm doing is taking these things and I'm kind of pushing them down into a place where I think I would like it. So if you see here, all I did was just nestle those into the bow. I just took it out and I looked, see there's a natural hole in the project. Nestle that down into the bow there, and I nestled it into the bow up on the top here. So you get a little bit of a pine cone accent on pieces that you might think you need filler on. Not to worry, not to worry. Okay, I'm not going to glue it in just yet because I might need to put some leaves in around it. but I'm going to leave them in those spots. And I'd almost forgotten, I needed to add a couple more tails because the way this ribbon is one way, you can't see enough, in my opinion, of the actual tree itself. So what I'm going to do is just cut a couple strips, maybe 3 inches, 2 inches long. So you take your ribbon here, and I want to be able to see this actual piece of the fabric, or the ribbon, the detail on the ribbon. So I'm going to kind of nestle it way up in here where I plan on stapling it in, and just seeing how much of it I would need, or what exactly I would need to do to get this piece of the ribbon to show. I want exactly one tree showing before I cut it here. So I'm going to dovetail it underneath where I want that tree to show. So I'll show you the method to my madness in 1 minute, guys. So I'm going to dovetail it right here. Okay. So this is what I want to be sticking out of the project. So you can see this piece of the ribbon, because it's a big pattern and I've already cut into it. So I want that big piece to show at the end of my project. So what I'm going to end up having to do is kind of fold this down here. Okay, so what I did was I folded the top of, this is the piece I cut, and there's no way to get around it because I needed this. So I folded it down this way so it's got a little thickness, and then all I've done is pushed it in on itself. Do you see how I did that, guys? Push it in on itself here, just like that. Can you see how it'll create its own natural ribbon wrinkle, and then pinch it there, and then we're going to staple it into the top of the project like that. So this sticks out the bottom, and I'll show you 1 second. So I'm holding it where I've pinched it, right, guys? I'm hoping you can see this. I'm holding it. I have to push this stuff up to the top. Not a problem. And then what I'm going to do is put this right up at the base of the ribbon I've already made, and then get staple happy on it, guys, because it's going to be pretty thick. It's going to have to go through a lot of stuff under here. And then again, the mint green ribbon, it's a thinner ribbon, so it's a lighter weight ribbon, so it's got smushed again. Not to worry, if you just do like lightly fluff it, you'll get the idea. So now I've got that tail sticking out here, and you can definitely see the Christmas tree. I wanted that Christmas tree to be prevalent right there on the front. And I'm going to do another one here on this back piece. Same thing. Now this one's facing the opposite way because that's how it faced when we were making the bow. Not to worry. Oh, this is my ribbon. My ribbon scissors are sharper. That's why I always have separate separate scissors for ribbon. There we go. So I'm going to have this one come up out of, kind of going out this way. I think a little bit towards that side. So again, I'm going to cut it right below this next tree here. I'm going to dovetail it right where I want it to be dovetailed. So this is the piece that I want to show coming out of my project. I'm going to fold it under. And then I'm going to take it and just push it in on itself. Push it in on itself. If you're holding one thumb here and one thumb here, this thumb does the work of pushing under, and you create, and then this finger, you create your natural little wrinkle that you push down and hold. So you've got your gather, on the front. And of course, if it doesn't work out, you go the opposite way. It's all good. It works out okay. So actually I'm going to come up with that here. There we go. And pinch it. So now I got to push everything up from this side so that I can get it onto the wood right here. That looks great. And I'm going to actually put it on top of this one. There we go. I want that one, since it's facing the way I want it to, I want that one to be prevalent. And same as before, get staple happy, guys. Nothing is going to, it's not detrimental. It's not going to break anything. It's not going to ruin anything. Because, I mean, worst case scenario, if you decide that you absolutely do not like the color palette, you're not liking how it's turning out, it's just not looking good to you, you can pull everything out. I mean, the only thing I put glue on so far were these pine pieces on either end. You can still pull all that off. And if it should take a little bit of paint with it, if it's a painted piece that you've chosen, again, it's not detrimental to your project because this is a distressed piece, but you can just pull off everything, and then if there's like chunks or little pieces of paint missing, you can just add whatever your next decision is for color palette over top of that. So here's this. So you can see the 2 ribbons coming off on the side, and I got 2 over here. We're still seeing the tree. So I mean, again, I'm still watching to make sure I'm not adding too much stuff in here. So next I'm going to add probably just 2. I mean, there's always a rule of 3 I had heard about. But I'm only going to check with these 2. I mean, it's not really necessarily a rule. You can go with whatever makes you happy. You don't have to stick with any specific rules. I'm just cutting them and nestling them in to see if I like the placement. And yeah, I'm going to use all 3, guys. It's a really pretty deep green, and it adds a lot to the piece. So you'll notice when you start adding more and more greens, you'll see that you want to continue with the greens. You want the greens to continue throughout the project, all different types, colors. And then I'm nestling most of these, I can nestle them into the ribbon as well, so they get a little bit of texture and depth. And that's basically all I've done here is I cut them off, and just for testing out, seeing where I like things, I just take them and you just pop them into different areas of your project. Do I like this one here? Should I nestle it in a different spot? I like how that green sticks out there. Do I want, because these don't have wire in them, so you have to really pick the placement of it and think, do I really like where that's at? So at this point, since I'm not stapling these are going to actually get glued in. I'm going to dip the corner of this guy into my glue pot over here, and I'm just going to get a decent amount of glue on that here. And I'm going to nestle that right down into the bow. And that's why I still haven't put the pine cone in just yet, because I want, I'm going to glue that last. Same thing with this. Just get a good amount of hot glue on this guy and stick him down in there. And this guy's going to stick to the pine. He's going to stick to the ribbon. There is some of it that's touching the wood. And even though this is not quote unquote wood hot glue, because there is a difference, this isn't going to be a game changer. It's going to be just fine. Your project will stay together. It's got enough to adhere from. It's not heavy by any means, so you're not going to lose any kind of coverage. And I just dropped my other leaf, guys. I don't know where it went. I had 3. Oh, no, sorry. I stuck it right here. It blended in with all the green. It's beautiful. So I'm just making sure I can remember the placement of it here. So I have to hold the project up. I'm going to take the leaf back out, dip it in my glue pan over here, and then make sure there's not too many strings, and then place that right back down in there. And get that kind of situated just like that. It's covering up a little bit of the cord, but remember, anything you put on the bottom is for accent. So even these corded pieces that took a little bit of time and effort on, they're going to get covered up too, and it's okay, because you still want your project to shine with, whatever details it is. Don't worry about covering up too much of one or the other. And so all we have left now is these lamb's ear, and then the berries, the really pretty berries here that I want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and glue in my pine cones. So you're going to take your pine cone base and stick it right down into your glue pot. I twist mine a little bit. And then I'm trying to get off as much glue as I can, because I don't want it to be overloaded so much. So you take the base of that, see there's a good amount of glue on there, and you just press that right straight back down into your project. Make sure you have the angle you want on it, because you're not going to be able to get it back off once you glue it in. But trust me, I've been there and I have tried, and it has not been I have not been successful. Let's put it that way. So and here I am forever messing with the bow. I'm like forever a bow fluffer. Okay, so the other pine cone, I'm going to lift this up a little bit, make sure I have my open space. Tap that guy into the glue pot. I like to do a little circle method, twist off the excess, and then stick that one right back down in there. Okay, so next, that's pretty much, I mean, you could stop right now. That's gorgeous the way it is. If you guys can see here, I've got pine cones, I've got the burlap cording that's wired, two kinds of ribbon, magnolia leaves, and two separate different types of pine cut sprigs. And it's looking phenomenal. I'm really loving it. But you guys, I know, you guys know, I don't like to stop when I think I should. I'm going to add 2 more elements and then we'll be done. So remember, I'm talking a lot because I'm giving you all these little step-by-step pieces. But this is a very fast little thing. Everything's already made for you, so you just can pre-cut all this stuff ahead of time. And then really all you're doing is stapling and gluing. It shouldn't take more. I mean, sometimes the creative process can be a little involved. I know, because I'm a creative. I've done it many times. And it can get a little out of hand, or you can get a little discouraged, but it's not to the point where this is a project that should take, you know, a day or 2. It shouldn't, it's not going to be, it won't get out of control is what I'm trying to say. This isn't something that can get away from you and, you know, cause a lot of mess and anything. This is super simple, super easy. Just cut and glue and staple to your heart's content. So I'm going to put this one down in here like that. That's covering too much of the ribbon. So here I'm just trying to see. Now these have been in storage, so my leaves are a little, they have a little bit left to, you know, I don't want to cover up too much of my other ribbon. So I'm going to see, okay, that one works really good there. It's also a bigger leaf. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to nestle it in. I'm going to glue pot the end of it and nestle that right in there like that. Because what I'm trying to avoid is covering up too much of the Christmas tree ribbon that I specifically cut to make sure that it would show. So I'm going to put these accents underneath. That works out just fine. Okay, that works out good. So I have to pick up one piece, move another one off to the left and the right to get this underneath. And I'm making sure that this leaf is going underneath this burlap wired cord and get it nestled in right underneath the pine cone and that magnolia leaf so I can leave that accent showing. I don't want to cover up the squiggly part of this burlap cord. Is super pretty. So I've got 3 pieces in here. I want to add more, so I'm going to keep see how much of this I need to pick up so I can try and get this under here like that. That looks good. So this is a little bit more special. I'm only going to put glue on the back of this one. And I have to hold this piece up here. And I'm going to use my pliers to kind of push it down and make sure that glue is adhering. So all those, any little tool you may have, any kind of little shortcut that you come up with, be proud of those, because those are like that shows your creativity. If you hadn't have thought of one or the other before, and then all of a sudden, you know, you have something and it worked out really well, be proud of it and share that. I love hearing those things. I love seeing those things, and it's really fun to learn from each other. As I said, that we don't, I mean, if you're a fellow crafter and you're also within the same creative business, it's never a competition, because I think there's always enough room for everybody at the craft table. It's always just, for me, about having fun and learning from each other. I mean, because the stuff that we're doing isn't anything new. I know I watch a lot of different crafters on YouTube and Facebook and those things, and they have a lot of good points. Damon from Deco Exchange, Damon Oates from Deco Exchange had said, you know, we're not doing anything new, you guys. This stuff has been around forever. These it's not like these are like brand new techniques or anything. It's just showing you a different way to do it, and then basically it's all the same stuff that's been around for years. It's not going to be something to where you're going to, you know, new techniques come out, new products come out, but you can always apply that to something that you've already learned in the past. Or there's books, there's ebooks, there's all kinds of stuff out on the market that someone has already taught somebody else, and it's not earth-shattering as far as just make something and get along with some other people that have the exact same interest of you as you, and it turns out to be so much fun. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I love it so far. It's been so much fun. I'm so happy that this YouTube and Facebook live stuff is turning out so well. It's been so much fun, and I can't wait to just keep it up. So far, so good, right, guys? It's working out just great for me. All right, so there's the lamb's ears. All I did was nestle those in, okay? We still have our tree. You can still tell that it's a triangle. Okay, so we just nestled that in there. And then now all I'm doing is I'm going to do the exact same thing with these berries. So I'm taking them and I'm going to clip them off at their base right next to the stem that they're on. And the top one, or the top two, I might leave on here because my idea is to leave it longer on the stem and use that piece to kind of nestle that down here to go into, I'm just going to push it in. Oh, you can't even see, guys, sorry. I'm going to leave it on the stem here because I want to nestle this down. I want it to come out right here. So my end goal is to see how far I can get this pushed into the project, get it through staples and different glue pieces. And I'm just going to keep trying to work that in there to come up here off the top of the piece. The rest of these are all going to get nestled into existing areas. So excuse me one moment, guys, while I try to work this guy in here like this. Just keep pushing it in. I think I got it under the staple of that one. All right, so I won. Yeah, I laughed a little bit. It was fun. So I'm going to kind of bend the berries just a little bit to give them a little bit of depth, a little bit of texture. And so those are guys that are coming out the top like that. It's looking really good. All right, guys, all I have are 5 more pieces and we're done. And then I will obviously hold this up to show you guys what's going on and how it looks. And then please post comments, post your questions. I can always do a follow-up on my Facebook page for any of you guys that want to see stuff more in detail. I'm literally just dipping the ends of these into the glue pot and then nestling them down in between the berries, in between the bow, the branches of the pine, the leaves that we've put in there. That's really all I'm doing is just pushing them down into the project and giving them a little bit of a bend if they need some more, if it needs some more life to it. That's really about it. And I'm going to put the last one right there. All right, guys, that was super fun. Super, super fun. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment. Please like or subscribe if you can. It's super helpful to my page. It gets me my own, it's like a little online tip jar. My mentor, Julie Samaka, says that, my little online tip jar. So here we go, guys. And I'm loving every second of it. That is gorgeous. So I went with a lot of greens. I went with a mint green, a lot of good stuff in here, and then a few naturals. And everything on here looks super, super beautiful. And then just a couple of the pearlescent pewter and ivory berries. And so far, it has turned out absolutely gorgeous. What do you guys think? I'll give it a little close up there so you can see how things are kind of nestled into it. There's the back. Nothing special there. It goes on the back. So you can see here inside, there's the back too. You can see into all the little nestled pieces and everything that we placed into the bow. And that's basically your end result. That's what it looks like when you're done. So this guy's going to go on the wall. He's going to hang just like that this year. I know it's only, a couple days for Christmas right now. Again, I'm going to get some pictures taken. I'll put them up on my Facebook and my Instagram page, and then you'll see some at the end of this video. So stay tuned while you're watching just now. And you'll see the ends. I'll put the stills up. And then also, again, just like, subscribe, follow me, do whatever you can. If you have ideas that you want to see me do something, go ahead and submit those. put those in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. If you guys make one yourself of something like this, send me pictures. I absolutely love to see what you guys do. I love sharing it with our little community, our crafty community. We're all really great, and I'm having a great time. So I greatly appreciate all of you guys watching, and your continued support is extremely uplifting and rewarding. So just keep it up, and I'll keep it up. And until next time, you guys, take care. I appreciate everything all of you do. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.